Anderson. I'm responsible for Hasbro Studios International Distribution. So if you're not seeing our awesome Transformers shows on air all over the world, it's my fault. Okay, so come see me afterwards. Anyway, I would like to introduce you to this Transformers panel. Right here I have Brian Leonard. He is our Exec Director at Hasbro Studios, and today he's our tech nerd. Yes. Next to him, you will know Jeff Klein. Next to Brian, we have Jeff Klein. He's the Executive Producer on Transformers Prime. And Jeff wanted me to say my British accent, keep calm and carry on. Next to Jeff, we have Wayne Casey. Wayne. We have Dave Hartman, Supervising Director of Transformers Prime. Next to Dave, we have Jerry Javoyne. Jerry is the Senior Director of Transformers Global Marketing. Yes! Jerry has to give a shout out so far. However, we have one more person to introduce. My good friend, my Iron China. Some of you might know what that means. It is Mike Vogel, the VP Development at Hasbro Studios. Mike's going to be right there, but I love you. Mike's going to be moderating the panel, so I'm handing it over to Mike. Off you go, guys. Thanks.
My accent is not nearly as pretty as this. So hi, everybody. Let's talk about some Transformers. So a few years ago, we were here, and most of you were probably here too, and I think we showed about 30 seconds of CG animation of Bumblebee flying off a bridge, transforming, and punching a Decepticon in the face. And that was all we had. That's it. You guys are like, please show us more. And now you guys have been with us for almost 3 whole seasons, and we've shown you plenty. So first, let's all just give these guys a big round of applause. Emmy award-winning Transformers Prime. Multiple Emmy awards. So before we start talking about a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about today, I just kind of wanted to throw out to you guys, what's it like now as opposed to then? I mean, we all kind of came in, Hasbro Studios started, we're going to do a brand new Transformers, you guys kind of got thrown in the deep end, we got to get it done super fast, and we set out to tell 3 seasons of a story that was a complete arc story that had a beginning, middle, and end, and we actually made it there. So why don't you talk about that a little bit and your reflections, if you will.
Well, probably the biggest surprise, although it shouldn't have been after a number of years of doing this, is that we were as much in the deep end in season 3 as we had been in season 1. Part of that was just because early on, it was asked if we could move up these first 4 episodes of season 3 by about 3 months, which is a huge difference when you're doing a production like this and you've got an overseas partner in Polygon. We finally got approval to use some new characters that we've been waiting on. We had to kind of retrofit them, got back in, which ended up actually working out fantastically. And quite honestly, we always kind of figured we'd get 3 seasons, we'd get 65 episodes, we'd finish our story, but it's a little sad when you're wrapping it up. You're sort of like, I want to live with these guys for another year or 2 or 5 or 10. But we wanted to really try to make sure that whatever we did, we gave you guys the experience you deserved for sticking with us for these 3 years. So hopefully we have. And really, if we don't say it at the end, thank you guys so much for being as supportive of this as you have been from the beginning, which was amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Reflect.
Dwayne. I think you did a tremendous job. Reflect. It's been fabulous. Thank you. 63 episodes. Yeah, we are airing our penultimate episode tomorrow. So exciting things. Stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion. And I know. That's a great one.
I'm sorry.
Trust me, I'm just working.
That's why we have the right team. We have an entire team.
I didn't know we were ending. No, actually, really haven't had time to reflect on it. We're still in kind of our editing stage for this, the end of Prime. Yeah, Yeah.
And when you're in the middle of
This
it,
is
it's
actually
sort of
really sad for me. I haven't reflected on it until now.
It's true. It was all the time. So.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, from episode 1 to now, what episode? We're working on like 64, 63 or something like that. 50 something, I don't know. I mean, it just feels like it was yesterday. You know, it really is just one day's gone by. And man,
And it's actually been 4 years. We started.
yeah, it really is.
Fall 2009.
I've lost a lot of childhood memories making room for all these episodes.
Well, why don't we talk a little bit about season 3 and unleashing the beast? Where did that come from? I mean, where did the idea come from for that? How did it work in? Did you always plan on diving into Predacons in season 3, or was that something that happened along the way?
We knew we were going to dive into something big for season 3. It took a while to figure out. Then there were some other things we considered dropped, and really it was a united effort where we all decided, it doesn't get much bigger than bringing in the beasts, so to speak. And well, you've seen how we did into the storyline, and we wanted to, as with much else in Transformers Prime, wanted to make sure we gave the beasts a interesting mythology, an interesting backstory, and took some creative license and sort of dovetailing it into the version of the world we created. But we think tying in with the notion that Earth is in many ways a sort of sister planet to Cybertron. I think the notion of why the Predacons are here, that they're part of Earth's ancient history, I think was interesting.
How was it to design and sort of come up with a look for it?
Well, it was a little different. Using the word beast, we didn't want to get totally into the Beast Wars, Beast Machines kind of feel. But like Dwayne said, going into this mythology, we went in with this kind of mythology with a kind of Griffin-esque, almost, Earth's mythology, different things, whether Greek or whatever kind of mythology we pulled from, and tried to put a bit of that into the show as though there's a reason why those things have always been there. Yeah, into the design of it. So,
But it was a pretty complicated build. The Predacon was a pretty complicated build for
yeah, doing a robot into a vehicle, at least you kind of know what a fender looks like and all that. Now, it's actually hard to have full range of where you could go and where you can put parts and what turns into a claw, what turns into this. It actually gives a lot more freedom, but in doing so, I think you're going to see some of the most complicated transformations ever seen in Transformers, where it's just like thousands of pieces and it looks pretty freaking cool. So.
And again, hats off to our Japanese partner, Polygon, for
engineering that.
Yeah.
It's one thing to draw, it's another to make it actually.
Yeah, early on, they actually built origami because they were trying to figure out where the creature would actually be jointed and how it would move. And we would send drawings back and forth, but at some point they actually just
built little paper origami and
figured out
how it's going to work.
It's incredibly elaborate. Why don't we have it? I
think Hasbro should sell that. Jerry,
Hey, would you guys buy an origami kit? Would that be something?
So Jerry, I have a question for you. So these guys having worked on the series and with the way they've sort of taken classic Transformers lore mythology and kind of reworked some things and kind of added new things to the lore, how does that affect the brand on the wider level? Like whether it be product or other things, like what's the relationship been like and how has that worked with season 3 of Beast Hunters?
How often a day do you want to kill us?
Or you guys kill it. It's great to work on. I think the product that, a lot of you know from Generation 1 or Beast Wars, some of the classic historical characters that are out there. What's great is you see those influences in the show from the characters, plus you're seeing new characters or reinventions, reimagination of a character, like Predacon, having that kind of reimagination of a character. So it's great to, not only do we have the historical kind of the legacy over the last 30 years, but you also see how it's influencing the show and new content, new creation of characters and going forward. So it's a lot of fun because it gives the brand a lot of opportunities. We love making more and more toys of all the new characters and give them to the world. So it's fun.
I do just want to say that, sort of out of everyone in Rhode Island, obviously the partnership has been fantastic. George Voyne has maybe been our biggest supporter from the very beginning and very publicly, so seriously, thank you very much.
So with that, So let me look at that real quick. AD Brian.
Lights down, all you.
Friday, it's a battle that will change the Transformers universe. Prepare to join the All-Spark forever. No! Transformers Prime Beast Hunters. All new Friday, 7:20 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Hub Network.
We felt like that didn't quite give you all of the awesome that was going to be in the finale. There's one other little thing that we wanted to throw in there. You might have heard about this, but wanted to show you something else really quick that's going to be happening in our season finale. So lights back down, please.
Hey, Raph, you can tear yourself away from your laptop in 2 seconds. Put yourself up here so you can get to Cybertron, alright? Wait, who's that?
That's something. So why don't we talk about that? So obviously, Bumblebee is not beeping there. Beep bop boop. So why did we decide to do that? And for Jerry, what does that mean for Bumblebee moving forward in the big wide Transformers universe?
Well, when we started, we actually were trying to kind of key off the movie, because we felt like a lot of the audience is familiar with the movies, more than maybe even some of the previous TV shows. So that's why we didn't have Bumblebee speak. That's why we didn't have Bumblebee speak. Right? But we knew that at some point over the course of our series, we wanted to actually give him a voice. And so it was a matter of when. And we kind of, at the beginning of season 2, like now the time, no, it still feels too early. He's still, his relationship with Raph was such that what really bonded them was that Raph could understand him and nobody else could. So we wanted to delay it. And then pretty early on, when we started breaking season 3, figured out exactly where we wanted to put the introduction of the voice for him.
The real answer is we're very last minute over here. No, not true. We actually wanted to put it in the most compelling place possible, and the finale seemed to be it, because a runner in the series has been that Bumblebee is a scout learning to be went on this road to becoming a warrior, and then we hit in the opening Fort Water this season in a exchange with Smokescreen, Smokescreen that Bumblebee actually wanted to wait, until in the hope that one day they could return home and be Deadly Warrior, properly in the ceremony. So we'll see how that unfolds.
Yeah, and I think from a brand, everyone remembers, Bumblebee from G1, spoken G1. And I think it's very exciting to see that Bumblebee now has his voice, he's speaking, and obviously gives a great opportunity for some toys. So stick around the panel after this. We're going to go through all the toy products and brand news, and I will show you a talking Bumblebee that will be coming out later this year. So it gives us, opens up a whole new opportunity for us, and I just love hearing Bumblebee speak.
Yeah.
Voiced by the great Will for them.
Yes,
It
it
is
is.
wondering.
So, we ended Transformers Prime, we had this great season finale, and we were all sitting around, and we said, you know what? There's still a little bit more story we want to tell. What can we do? And we decided we were going to make a big, awesome Transformers Prime movie to wrap up all of our loose ends and make things awesome and amazing. You watch the second to last episode tomorrow, and you watch the last episode next week, coming this fall, you will get to watch Predacons Rising. One of the things we heard from you guys a lot in, not that we look at the message boards all the time, but sometimes we might peruse them. I stay up late at night. But one of the things we heard a lot was, Predaking is awesome, we'd really love to see some more Predacons. So that was one of the things we said, you know what, that should be part of the movie. There's a lot of other things that are part of the movie that we'll talk about a little bit in a minute, but why don't we show a quick clip? Yeah.
Movement. 2 contacts at point 84. Approach with caution. My name is Ultra Magnus. Are you Autobot or Decepticon? Neither. Predacons.
You truly are the first people to see any of that. In fact, the audio that you heard on that last clip, Dave just did in his office on a computer about 24 hours ago. So, really, I think even most of Hasbro people haven't seen that. So, which is cool.
It looks awesome.
So, I know that at the beginning of Transformers Prime, we had Terracons. And at the end of Transformers Prime, we had Predacons. Do my eyes deceive me? Or was that possibly a combination of both?
Dave Hartman loves zombies.
They never grow old. Well, they do.
We've got the governor here, so he's looking out for zombies. Thanks, buddy. So why don't we talk a little bit about the story as far as you can tell without getting in trouble with me for what I told you couldn't say.
Gotcha. Well, let's see. 30 seconds or less. It's been a big season 3 so far.
Nobody said 30 seconds or less.
Yeah, no, but it's so fun to sort of do the original Shakespeare and because Transformers Prime is just about that epic. Let's see. We destroyed the Autobot base at the end of the previous season. The Autobots were on the run. We had Megatron almost take reign in Jasper and try to take reign of the world with Darkmount. We destroyed Darkmount. The Autobots came back together. Smokescreen showed a new level of maturity and let everybody understand, came to realize that it's not always just about him. And we had Optimus get rebuilt, reborn, reimagined in a terrific new Optimus, what we call internally the Optimus 2.0 design.
How many people thought we were actually going to kill him? Anybody? Good. That was the idea.
Ultra Magnus shook up the status quo on the team, and but ultimately, as you've been seeing, has sort of inched towards learning how to mesh with the group and a new hand, and almost driving a middle Jack away, who then quickly returned to the fold as he is now going to be part of the family, with RC having been this sort of the one who sort of imparted her wisdom that we've seen her gain. Bumblebee got a new paint job, and other things, and then let's see, who do we leave out? The villains, Starscream's back in the fold, and just when he's finally accepted his place in the universe as Megatron's second in command, Shockwave comes along, just sort of upset that balance, and so we have a new sibling rivalry there. Soundwave. Soundwave, Bumblebee is not the only one who will speak. Soundwave already spoke, as you know. And let's see.
Knockout.
knockout. I mean, knockout is knockout. Oh my gosh, we got Silas left his mortal coil, but thanked Arachnid. We sort of released him from his torments. Arachnid's now a space vampire. I'm on the side of like, when you break it all down like that, you know, it's kind of nuts. Miko like held her own against some Diacons in the Apex armor. Anyway, and so the story is about him. We brought something Energon back into the fold, and I think where we left things is. Oh, they wound up in the trunk. They finally got to go on their first date, which got a little really upset along the way. Oh well.
In Knockout's trunk.
That just sounds wrong.
You know, it was so wrong that it was right. It's right. But anyway, came up with that was a happy day. Predacon revealed that he's on a path to evolution and has figured out his sense of his own place in the universe. And
Just the fact that Dwayne can keep all that straight in his head is so amazing and a little obsessive compulsive.
Childhood memories.
Yeah.
Like Dave said. So if you saw last week's episode, we sort of ended things with Ratchet sort of being co-opted into the Decepticon fold and being persuaded to help finish Peace and Ten formula, which is going to lead to the creation of cyber matter that will allow them to cyberform Cybertron, unfortunately, as well as Earth, and things are hanging in the balance right now. Please watch our thrilling next 2 episodes.
How many people think we're going to destroy Earth?
But that said, you know, and the amazing thing about Prime, I have to say, and which we need to give a shout out to, just an amazing network who really supported our vision of the show from the get-go, and but they put us to task. They wanted to open big with the original 5-parter, Predacons Rising, and you know, when you open that big, where do you go from there? So I think the whole of Transformers Prime has been these just amazing, epic events, and then a little rest as we, you know, put things back into place, and then epic again, and like, you know, how far can you take it? So, you know, it goes without saying, the next 2 episodes are beyond epic, and then, but we still had threads that we wanted to wrap up and things that we wanted to do. So the movie Predacons Rising will be even more epic than our epic finale. Can you have too much epic? I don't know.
It's the epicest. Yeah, and I think, you know, when we set out, you know, at the very, very beginning to do Transformers Prime, and when we did it with that sort of everyone who loved Transformers growing up, whether it was G1 or Beast Wars or Beast Machines, had this love of Transformers, and we kind of wanted to try to tell the ultimate Transformers tale for anyone who's grown up with Transformers and loved it. And I think that...
But also for people who didn't. I mean, the other side of the equation was we wanted to start over in some ways, to reboot it in some ways, so people who hadn't grown up with the franchise yet, perhaps, or just had never come to it, could come in and not feel like they were jumping in the middle of something they couldn't catch.
Yeah, and that's why we kind of took some of the best elements from different versions over the course of time and put them all in this show in sort of a new, fresh way. And I think with Predacons Rising, you guys are going to see that we really tried to wrap things up in a satisfying way for everyone who loved Transformers again or for the first time. And actually with that, for all of you guys out there that love Transformers again or for the first time, why don't we open it up to some questions? And I do know that we have a very special guest who's going to ask the first question, Francie.
I was wondering, are you guys going to ever bring back the Dinobots to the new series?
Well, since I'll take this one. Since Transformers Prime is wrapping up with Predacons Rising, there wasn't any space to put the Dinobots in this show because we had the Predacons and we wanted to get new Predacons in there. But as we discuss things that are going to happen beyond in the future, that's definitely something that we would all love to do at some point.
you brought Ironhide in?
Yeah, I think we probably would have.
Will Hasbro continue making Prime Transformers? Or will they continue the line? So will you be adapting the G1 characters as for vehicle modes and stuff in the current Prime line?
The current, we have the Prime V Centers line is out there right now through the end of the year and into as we go into spring next year. Stay around for the panel after this. We can give some products to show. Obviously, we have publicly known that Transformers 4 will be coming out in June of next year, end of June. So. Right now, the plan we have is with Prime to go through the spring, and we'll see where else we can go from there.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I have two questions as well. The first is, was it always planned to be a 3-series show? I mean, back in season 1, did you know it was going to be ending season 3?
For whatever reason, it seems like whenever we develop a show, we sort of plan for 3 seasons. I'm not quite sure why, because obviously some shows don't go that long and some shows go longer. So we always had at least 3 seasons worth of story in our heads. But no, we weren't exactly sure whether we'd end up with a 4th season or not. And then when we did find out, we wanted to make sure that the nice thing was we found out early enough that we could actually tie up loose ends. The worst thing is when they tell you when you're too late and you kind of have to just jam some stuff together and you feel really unsatisfied. At least for us, we feel pretty satisfied.